Welcome to Earn More Money, your ultimate guide to boosting your income and achieving financial freedom. Whether you're looking to start a business, side hustle, make smart business investments, or manage finances better, we've got you covered. This is the official Earn More Money YouTube channel. I'm Tony Atlas, and right now we have an exclusive business package. I'm giving you a free online presentation on starting a business. I was in Louisiana when we did this presentation. Oh man, it was a great experience. This is my gift to you since this is the official launch of this YouTube channel. I'm certain you're going to enjoy this. It's a guide for aspiring entrepreneurs, small business owners. Enjoy the content, live a great life, build a legacy, and stay legendary. I'll talk to you soon. First and foremost, I want to welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining today's presentation on starting a business. This is the finality. Louisiana has been great to me. We've been doing a lot of presentations, little seminars, workshops. It's just been a great experience. This is the last online virtual presentation. So, oh man, so thank you so much. Listen, this is what we're going to do. We're going to talk about starting a business. So whether you're an aspiring entrepreneur or a small business owner looking to refine your approach, this session aims to provide you with the essential knowledge and practical tips to embark on your business journey. Our goal is to equip you with the tools and the confidence you need to make informed decisions, navigate initial challenges, and set a solid foundation for your business. Now, we got to talk about the importance of understanding how to start a business. Listen, starting a business involves much more than just having a great idea. Ideas are great, but it requires careful planning through thorough research and a clear understanding of the various steps that are involved in starting a business. Now, by understanding all of the critical components, you can avoid common pitfalls. You can optimize your resources and increase your chances of success. So this presentation is a guide, and basically it's going to guide you through the essential stages of starting a business, from creating the idea to setting up operations to managing finances to trying to scale for growth. Man, it's going to be a long one. So listen, make sure that you have your drinks, your coffee, whatever refreshment that you have. And listen, if we experience some type of technical difficulty, look, what we're going to do is we're going to fix the technical difficulty, and then we're going to get back to this virtual presentation. Once again, thank you so much. And please leave in the comments where you're from. Put in the chat box right now where you're from. Some people are from California. Oh, okay, I see North Carolina. Oh man, so keep it coming. What I want to do is I want to try to create an interactive experience. Yeah, that's what I want to do. This is starting a business. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically give you an overview. So today's presentation, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about some key topics. So we're going to start with how to identify viable business ideas, conduct market research, and analyze competitors. So we're starting with the ideation and the research, and then we're going to go on to business planning. So basically we're going to delve into creating a comprehensive business plan, setting goals, financial planning. Then we're going to discuss choosing a business structure, registering your business, understanding tax obligations. And then we're going to talk about selecting a business location, setting up the necessary technology and equipment. We're going to talk about hiring employees. Then we'll delve into developing a marketing strategy, building your online presence, effective sales techniques. We'll talk about financial management, budgeting, funding, bookkeeping practices. Then we'll talk about planning for growth. Growth and scale is very important, especially as it applies to business. Scaling those operations and then just managing those growing pains. And then we'll get out of here, man. I'll give you some final thoughts, maybe some encouragement. And then, hey, it is what it is. But listen, by the end of this presentation, you will have a comprehensive understanding of the steps needed to start a successful business and practical tips to apply in your own ventures. This is a long presentation once again, so I think you should grab a pencil, a paper to take notes, your favorite beverage, non-alcoholic beverage, of course, a snack. And what we're going to do is we're going to jump into this. And man, I got to take a breather. But we get ready to get started. That's what we're going to do right now, Okay, so where are we going to start? Identifying business ideas. So now the first step in starting a business is coming up with a viable business idea. So what I want to do is I want to try to give you a technique, or maybe some techniques, to help you brainstorm. You have to consider what you're passionate about. This is where personal interest and skills, this is where this lives. You got to consider in your life, you got to analyze who you are and consider what you're passionate about and where your skills lie. You got to combine your interests and skills. And by doing that, that can lead to a fulfilling and sustainable business. Now, you also have to look for problems in your daily life or within the industry that you're trying to jump into, because you're going to have to solve a problem in that industry. A successful business addresses a specific need or a friction point or a pain point. So like I said, you have to identify a problem in the industry that you're trying to jump into. And then you, with your business, you have to be the solution. Now, trends and gaps in the market. This basically means that you have to keep an eye on emerging trends, and you have to identify gaps in the market that are not addressed by all existing businesses that are already there. Because your business have to serve a purpose. Other businesses, they serve a purpose right now. And what you're trying to do is that you're trying to make sure that you can fill that gap in the market. Now, as it applies to customer feedback, look, you have to talk to potential customers to understand their needs and their preferences. Now, my individuals who have a business degree, you know that you have to do a SWOT analysis. So that's part of that customer feedback. You have to understand your demographic. You have to speak with those potential customers, and you have to make an assessment of their needs and their preferences, because their feedback can inspire new business ideas or improvements to existing ones. Now, once you have a list of potential ideas, what you have to do now is you have to evaluate that list. And based on factors such as feasibility, your market demand, and profitability, then you're going to make some real gigantic, maybe life-changing decisions. Now, as it applies to market research, conducting thorough market research is very important. It's crucial because it helps to validate your business idea. And you definitely want to validate that business idea because you're trying to understand your target market. So what I want to do is I want to try to tell you how market research works. So this is how you approach market research. First, you're going to define your target audience. This basically means that you identify who your potential customers are based on demographics. Sometimes you're going to use psychographics. You're going to look at the market and look at the behavior of the individuals within that market. Now, with primary research, as it applies to market research, you're going to collect first-hand data through surveys, interviews, focus groups with potential customers. And when you do this, this helps you gather specific insights directly from your target audience. You also utilize secondary research. And basically that's using existing resources like industry reports, market analysis that have already been done, and competitor information, because what you're trying to do is you're trying to gain a broader market data. You're trying to gain that knowledge on the market because you want to know what other people have done. You want to know their data. Now, of course, you're analyzing market trends. You're looking at the trends that could impact your business. And when I say impact your business, I mean in a positive way or a negative way. And this could include consumer behavior, technology advancements. You can look at the economy, because one thing that you can depend on is that the economy will not be stable. So the economy always shifts. So you have to look at the economic shifts. And I'm telling you, by understanding your market, you can tailor your products or services to meet your customer needs. And what you'll do is that you'll position your business effectively. Analyzing the competition. Competitor analysis basically helps you to understand the competitive landscape and identify opportunities because you're looking for differentiation. What makes you different from everyone else? So here's how to conduct a competitor analysis. You're going to identify your competitors. You're going to make an assessment of those competitors. You're going to analyze the competitors, and then you're going to identify opportunities for differentiation. I'm going to break that down now. When you're identifying your competitors, basically what you're doing, you're listing both direct competitors and indirect competitors. Now, your direct competitors are basically businesses that are offering similar products or similar services. And your indirect competitors are businesses who are offering alternatives or substitutes. Then, you're going to evaluate their strengths, because you got to look at their brand presence. If they have a strong brand presence or superior customer service, and then you're going to look at their weaknesses, like limited product range or poor online presence. You got to analyze everything about your competition, right? You're looking at their marketing tactics, their pricing strategies, their customer engagement methods. All of this can provide insight into what works well in the market. You're also making a determination on how you, as a new business owner, can differentiate your business from the competition. This could be through unique product features. It could be through exceptional customer service. It could be an innovative marketing approach, something new. But I'm telling you, understanding your competitors enables you to make an empowered decision to strategically position your business and capitalize on the weaknesses of your competition, because you're trying to succeed. And the only way you're going to be able to do that is by analyzing the competition and knowing what they do well and their friction points. Now we got to talk about something that's very, very gigantic. And that is creating a business plan. Something that no one wants to do. Everyone loves the idea of business, but people somehow don't like the idea of planning. Look, bottom line up front, a well-crafted business plan is massively important and is a critical tool for any new business. It outlines your business goals, your strategies, and the steps that are required for you to achieve. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the key components of a business plan. Now, of course, you have your executive summary. You got the company description. You have your market analysis. You got organization and management. You got a couple of other things that we're going to get into, right? But let's talk about executive summary. Now, the executive summary of your business is basically a brief overview of what your business is about. It includes your business name, location, product, services, and the purpose of the plan. And now it should also highlight your business's mission and vision. Because basically what you want to do is that you want to provide a snapshot of your goals and your objectives. Now, for the company description, this section basically provides detailed information about your business, about its history, about the structure, and what does it actually mean? What it does. What does your business do? This is what your company description is going to tell anyone and remind you, because sometimes we get lost in the sauce. So you have to remind yourself, what is it that my business does? So you have to explain your business's unique value proposition and how it meets the needs of your target market. And that's done by analyzing that demographic, that we talked about earlier. Now, with market analysis, listen, you have to conduct and present thorough market analysis in that section. It has to include information on your industry, the target market, your market size, and competitive analysis. You have to highlight trends and growth opportunities within your market. Now, as it applies to organization and management, look, you have to outline your business's organizational structure. You do that by detailing the roles and responsibilities of your business. And your business, meaning your team members. You also want to provide a brief bio of those individuals. You want to highlight their relevance. And basically that's their experience and their expertise. So you're letting everyone know that, hey, look, this organization and this management team, they are here to stay. Now, continuing on with this business plan, you have products or services, you got marketing, you have sales strategy, you have funding requests, you got financial projections, right? Now, what you're doing as it applies to products or services, you have to describe your products or your services. And when I tell you have to do this, you have to do this in detail. Explain the benefits they offer. You got to talk about their life cycle, how they meet the needs of your customers. Include information on your pricing strategy, your product development, and any intellectual property considerations. Now, a lot of times people don't understand intellectual property rights. So, hey, talk to an attorney. Don't do everything by yourself. Sometimes people want to feel like they're the one-man army and they want to do everything because, hey, they're limited on resources. I get it, but please, as it applies to intellectual property rights and intellectual property, you may need some guidance. Now, as it applies to marketing and sales strategy, you have to detail your plans for attracting and retaining customers. You got to discuss your marketing strategy. You got to include advertising, promotion, public relation efforts. You're outlining your sales strategy and how you're going to achieve your sales goals. Now, as it applies to funding requests, listen, if you're seeking funding, I need you to understand the importance of outlining your funding requirements, your potential future funding needs, and how you plan to use the funds. You got to include financial projections, and you got to highlight your business's financial health and growth potential. This is not easy. You have to understand exactly what it is that you need, and you definitely have to go into great detail. You got to provide, as it applies to financial projections, right? What you have to do, you got to forecast. You have to have the ability to think in the future. So you have to have foresight, right? You got to provide detailed financial forecast, income statements, this including cash flow statements, balance sheets. You're using these projections to demonstrate your business's financial viability and the growth potential of your business. Now, you can also include additional information that supports that business plan, like resumes, permit, lease agreements, all other types of legal documents. But listen, Writing an effective business plan requires a lot of time and research, but it is a very valuable tool for guiding your business and securing funding. So let's talk about setting goals and objectives. Woo! Man, that's a big one right there. Listen, setting clear and achievable goals. That's very important. Did you hear what I said? I'm going to say this again. Setting clear and achievable goals is crucial for the success of your business. So set effective goals. Set smart goals, set great goals. And it's very, very important to set goals because goals provide direction and motivation. They help you focus on what's important and they help you maintain accountability. Now, I understand sometimes people want to run away from accountability, but goals, they help you to stay accountable. They help you to measure your progress. They help also align your team and allocate resources efficiently and effectively. Now, you have to use smart goals. Now, when I say use smart goals, what I mean by that, or when I say how to set smart goals, what I am telling you to do is use the SMART goal criteria to set goals that are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Now, if you take this approach ensures that your goals are clear and attainable within a specific time frame. That's why I said SMART goals. SMART is an acronym that stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. You got what I'm saying? Okay, so now specific. That means you're clearly defining what you want to achieve. Measurable, meaning you establish a criteria to measure your progress. Achievable means you ensure your goals are realistic and attainable. Relevant, that means that you align your goals with your business objectives. Now, as it applies to time-bound, that means that you set a timeline or a deadline for achieving your goals. This is how you set SMART goals. You got me? And I just gave you the criteria. Now, an example of SMART goals could be, let's say that you want to increase your monthly sales by 20% within the next 6 months, right? You launch a new product line by the end of the year. You want to grow your social media followers by 50% over the next 3 months. So then you set SMART goals to help you stay focused and provide a roadmap for achieving whatever that objective is. Now, I'm hoping that makes sense. If it makes sense, put in the chat, makes sense. Or just put sense. Or just put high five. That's what we're going to do. Just give me a high five because I feel like it made sense. Oh, got a high five. It must have made sense to you. Okay, Thomas, I see you. Yes, okay. Let's talk about something else. Okay, let's move on. Okay, let's talk financial planning. Man, that's a big one right there. It's definitely a big one. Okay, so listen, effective financial planning is essential for the sustainability and the growth of your business. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to you about creating a solid financial plan. When you're doing that, you have to estimate your startup costs. You got to create financial projections. You got to do a break-even analysis. You have to manage your finances, right? So now, as it applies to estimating your startup costs, what you're going to have to do is that you have to calculate the initial cost required to start your business. Now, this is going to include expenses like equipment, inventory, licenses, permits, marketing, just working capital. I'm telling you, you got to create a detailed list of all potential expenses, because what you want to do is you want to ensure that you have a clear understanding of your financial needs. Now, you also want to develop financial projections to forecast your business's financial performance. This could include projected income statements, cash flow statements, balance sheets. You're using these projections to make an assessment of the financial viability of your business, and you want to identify the potential friction points or challenges that you're going to incur, because you're definitely going to incur potential challenges. But what you're trying to do is you're trying to get ahead of that. You're trying to identify a problem or a challenge or an opportunity for growth before it even arises, because there's no such thing as an actual problem. It's just you're just identifying an opportunity for you to grow. Now, as it applies to looking at your income statements, your income statement is basically, it just basically projects your revenue, expenses, your profits over a specific period of time. As it applies to a cash flow statement basically tracks the flow of cash in and out of your business. It basically ensures that you have enough money to cover your obligations. A balance sheet provides basically a snapshot of your business's financial position. It talks about, it'll show the assets, the liabilities, all the equity of your business. I'm just thinking in my mind, what else do you need? Because sometimes people don't know all of the terminology that's being used. So I just want to make sure that, we're on the up and up as it applies to using the same language. Okay, so now let's talk about a break-even analysis. Now, with this break-even analysis, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to make a determination on the point at which your business is going to become profitable, because that's what a break-even analysis does. It determines the point at which your business starts to earn money. Now, this analysis helps you to understand how much revenue you need to generate so that you can cover your costs and start making an actual profit. Because as soon as you get to that zero and you start earning, it's a sigh of relief. Now, I want to talk about managing finances. Listen, you have to implement financial controls to manage your finances efficiently, effectively, and immediately. Now, this includes setting a budget, monitoring your cash flow, and regularly reviewing your financial performance. Now, I want to recommend that you use accounting software. And the reason why I do that, now I use QuickTime. But the reason why I do that is because accounting software, it streamlines your financial management processes. But I'm telling you, planning your finances carefully, if you do that, you can ensure that your business has the resources that it really needs to succeed and grow. Now, oh man, got to get into the legal and administrative portion of this presentation. I may do another presentation on choosing a business structure. So, hey, look out for that in the future. But listen, choosing the right business structure legally is a very important, crucial step that massively impacts your taxes, your liability, and your ability to raise capital. I'm going to give you an overview of the main types of business structures I'm not going to give you a detailed analysis, but in the future, I'm going to give a presentation on choosing a business structure. So then we have sole proprietorship, right? Now we know that this is the simplest and the most common form of business ownership. A sole proprietorship is owned and operated by one individual, and there's no legal distinction between that one individual and the business. This basically means that the business owner is personally responsible or liable for all debts and liabilities of that business. Now, there's some disadvantages and some advantages to being a sole proprietor, because an advantage is it's easy to set up and manage. You have complete control over the business. You have fewer regulations and tax benefits, as income that's only taxed. You only tax once. That income is only taxed once. So that's a great advantage. Now, the disadvantage is that you have unlimited personal liability, limited ability to raise capital, and challenges in transferring your ownership. Now, as it applies to a partnership involves two or more people who agree to share the profits and the losses of any said business. Now, there are two main types of partnership. There's a general partnership and a limited partnership. Now, there are advantages and disadvantages, of course. You have shared responsibility, you have more resources and skills, and tax benefits, as income is only taxed once. That's a great thing. Now, the disadvantages, you have unlimited personal liability for general partners and the potential for conflicts between partners and shared profits. It has to be in that agreement, that partnership agreement. You make sure you have one of those, because if you go into a partnership without an agreement, it causes a lot of unneeded complications. Let's talk about limited liability corporation, or LLC. Now, that's basically, it combines the benefits of a corporation and a partnership. It basically provides limited liability protection to the owners. Now, the owners are called members. Now, it allows for so much flexibility as it applies to management and pass-through taxation. That's just awesome. A lot of individuals that I know start limited liability corporations, and if you look on various social media outlets, they're always promoting, hey, start a LLC, start a LLC. Now, the advantages is limited liability protection, flexible management structure. It has pass-through taxation and fewer regulations than a corporation. Now, the good thing about that is that most individuals can kind of run their own LLCs and don't have to understand corporate tax law, and it just, it's a headache right there. You got what I'm saying? The disadvantage is that it can be more complex to set up a sole proprietorship or a partnership and have higher fees, especially just incorporating as a LLC. Like, what in the world? Sole proprietor, you just get up and go. Okay, so let's talk about corporation. Now, a corporation is a separate legal entity owned by shareholders. It provides the most protection from personal liability, but it's a lot more complex and more expensive to set up and maintain. It has a lot of advantages. Of course, it has limited liability protection. It has the ability to raise capital through the sale of shares of stock. That's right. And it has perpetual existence. Now, of course, with all these positive things, there definitely are some disadvantages. It has more regulations and more formalities. It has double taxations. Man, look, you got corporate profits, you got shareholder dividends, all of that stuff is taxed. And it's more expensive to set up and maintain. And now I gave you brief overviews because we're talking about choosing a business structure. In the future, I'm going to talk more about choosing a business structure because I'm telling you, I think we should dedicate more time to choosing a business structure. But I want to tell you this. If you're going to choose a business structure, you have to consider factors like your business goals, the level of control that you want. You know, you got to think about liability protection, the tax implications, and the ability to raise money. So consult with a legal professional or an accountant to determine the best structure that works for you. Now, I know some individuals, they like, look, I'm just going to go experiment. You can make whatever decision that you choose. But what I will tell you is to make an informed decision. Now, I have a lot of LLCs and some of those are under S Corp. And, you know, this gets big. You know, it really gets big. It just depends on how you want to do things. But the most common is a sole proprietorship. But then the second most common, especially in the wave of today of individuals who have this entrepreneurial spirit, they're like, look, man, I'm going to start an LLC. I'm going to start an LLC. So that's becoming more popular nowadays, you know? So look, it's up to you. But like I said, I always advise just getting a consultation from a legal professional. Get that consultation so that you can understand your legal rights under the law, you know? Now, we're going to talk about registering your business. We're going to talk about this process, basically, right? Now, once you've chosen a business structure, the next step is to register that business. And I'm going to talk about the steps to getting started. You know, you're choosing a business name, you're registering that business name, you're obtaining that EIN, you're registering with the state, your local taxes, you're applying for license and permits, you're doing all this good stuff, right? So, what are you actually doing? First and foremost, you gotta select a unique and memorable name for your business. Ensure that the name complies with your state's naming rules and isn't already in use by another business. And a lot of individuals, they make this mistake. They just think an idea in their mind and they think that it's original. Most ideas are not original. So do your due diligence. Now, depending on your business structure and location, you may need to register your business name with your state or local government. Now, this is also known as doing business as or DBA. You know, basically it's a fictitious business name, right? After you do that, you know, if it applies to you, then of course you got to obtain an employer or employee identification number or EIN. Now, an EIN is a unique identifier for your business. It's basically a social security number for your business. You know, you as a American citizen, you have a social security number. Well, your business has an employer identification number. You got what I'm saying? So this is required for tax purposes and can be obtained for free from the IRS. Now, I may release a video on how to do that, you know, but I just want to emphasize this can be done totally free. But once again, you have to have an employer identification number. I think I may have misspoken, said employee. You know, an employee identification number is a social security number. You know what I'm saying? So if I said that, then, I apologize. But like I said, employer identification number is EIN. Once again, it can be done for free. That EIN number can be obtained for free from the IRS. Free. But hey, if you need some assistance, you can contact me. I will not be like so many individuals. You can go to Google right now and you type in free EIN, and people will try to charge you for obtaining an EIN for your business. You can do it for free. I'll walk you through that process. Do not pay anyone for an employer identification number if you need one. Don't do it, okay? So anyway, as it applies to registering your state and local taxes, look, depending on your location and your business activities, you may need to register for various state and local taxes. I'm talking about sales taxes, income tax, payroll tax, but like I said, it depends. You have to know your state and your local tax law. Now, depending on your industry and your location, you may also need to gain or get specific licenses and permits to operate legally. So check your local and state government agencies to determine the requirements of your business specifically. Now, what we're going to do right now is we're going to take a small intermission. That's what we're going to do. And then we're going to come back refreshed. And then we're going to get this thing rolling.